All right, this is attempt number 2 at doing this voiceover. The last time I did it, the audio turned out terrible, so we'll hopefully do better this time. We turned the microphone levels down, so hopefully it turns out well. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. So today we have some EA Sports College Football 25 gameplay from Dynasty. My team is FAU. This is our second season. I have been streaming my Dynasty so far. If you would like to check out how we got to here and the journey I've been on trying to figure out how to play this game and how to be decent. Because I got destroyed yesterday. So I went and workshopped, went to the woodshed for a while, and focused on some actual practice mode. And I looked up a few videos on tips and best settings, and it's helped a ton. And you'll see that here. I still make a few mistakes, and I should have had a few more interceptions than I do. But a lot of the issues I was having yesterday are gone. I mean, not many drop passes at all. Not many missed passes. And my defense is performing better. We bend, but we don't break often. At least against these lower tier teams. Because our team isn't great, let's be honest. And we only get worse throughout the year because of the wear and tear system. Luckily, this new playstyle results in less injuries for my tight ends and running back. They were getting injured like every game. That was pure luck. Pure luck. A little bit of the credit is on the new passing system that I'm using, the placement and accuracy. But the other part is I'm not on Heisman difficulty, and my AI's turned to conservative. So my game, in theory, I think, would be easier. But from some things I've read, aggressive might actually be better because the game won't ever be too easy, but it probably won't beat you down that hard. Like it's supposed to adjust to your skill level and how you're performing. I originally had it on balanced, and it felt way too strong. I would have a few good drives and then get destroyed in the third quarter. And then for whatever reason, I would score more points in the fourth quarter every time. It was strange. I felt very rigged. I was complaining, yelling a lot, being really negative.
Yeah, David, and they also generally set the tone for their respective football teams. Regardless of which side of the ball they play on,
I'm
the
waiting
teammates look
for my
towards them
opponent.
to step up in big games like this.
And that also added to my anger with this game. I do think it's the best football game I've played in over 10 years, but there are issues. And if you want to hear about those, just look it up on YouTube, see what some people are saying. But don't believe everything you hear unless you see it yourself. And I'll tell you why. Some people, myself included at times, are dislike this game, or some aspects of this game, because we're not good. I'm not, I'm trying to get better. But my first 12 hours of playing this game, it was the greatest experience of my life. Up there with being born, it's just amazing. Good possession there. Stopped him. Let's see how he responds.
David, they'd love to do what they did last time and put this one in the end zone.
You ain't lying. They did a great job. The offense was clicking. Everything went well. Palmer, they executed. And
I thought I was passing that play, and so I was trying to pass to square and ended up diving.
Just keep doing what you're doing.
That's what happened.
Everything seems to be working, and you seem to have this
Ooh,
defense.
triangle looked good there. We still made it, but triangle looked good. Good film review time. This is a very small screen, so I am going to have a hard time reading the tiny little numbers and stuff. Like, my preview is like 4 inches. And then when I'm playing the game, I'm playing it through Elgato on my PC on Streamlabs. And so I don't believe there's a delay, but that screen is like maybe 10 inches, you know, maybe as big as an iPad. My vision's not the best in this game.
Listen, I know DBs don't catch the ball real well.
I need to figure out a way to get good audio while using my television. If I looked at the television, I wouldn't be able to speak into this microphone, and I would have to use my inferior headset microphones. You guys deserve the best audio. You're the best audience there is.
Give him 6. Who gives a hoot? The Owls do. It's a touchdown.
That's number 2 on the day, having a day. I mean, you know he's going to catch the football, and you know he's going to make plays after he catches. Those are the kind of guys.
We had to fix our kicking earlier in the game. I don't know if you noticed, but I thought the game was on tap, the kicking, because I had used that the game before. I'm going to upload that gameplay as well once I do a voiceover.
And they desperately wanted to attempt a return, but decided not to.
Actually, that stream will include like 10 minutes of me training. So me running like a passing drill against the very team I was struggling against. It helped a lot.
They're firing on all cylinders right out of the gate. Offensively for this unit, they've been
that and the other thing that I changed, I went to Heisman yesterday and got smacked. That's why I went back down to All-American, but I continued getting slapped when I had been successful before. Like the AI adapted or something or changed. It got very difficult. And I was getting slapped against the easiest team I'm playing all year. It was insane. But what I had changed, and I had forgotten about this, is I put on the accelerated play clock, and I put the minimum time to 10 seconds. The way the games would go faster. And we could get through the Dynasty faster. That was my goal. But it ended up causing us a lot of delayed game penalties, and we didn't have enough time to make audibles or adjustments. Or if there was like a pre-snap motion, we would get delayed game because it would never get done in time. So I put it back on 25 or off, and it has helped so much, I believe. I don't know if they changed the game or updated it, or if it was just that setting and me changing my passing and stuff. I don't know. I don't know yet. I just know yesterday getting crushed, and today I had a close game and I had a game where I crushed them. You know, this game was never really in doubt either, but they kept it, I think, within 2 possessions at the end. Close to 2.
They're going to run all kinds of options, and he's going to run the football.
I do end up throwing an interception because I hit the wrong button. I had R1 open, but I hit like circle or square or something, thinking that's who it was, because they had switched sides of the field, probably during an audible or something, or motion, I'm not sure. And I did that on a second play. I actually got a touchdown off of it. Or not a touchdown. I got a long pass. It was like a 40-yard pass. And then another time, I had the same problem I was having yesterday. I hit circle to pass the ball to a guy that was running a slant across the middle of the field, like 40 yards out. And when I hit it, he was actually like within 3 to 5 yards of 2 players. it didn't work, and it took me a second to realize it didn't work. So by the time I had tapped it, that receiver had actually distanced himself by like 5 yards off of both of them. Caught the ball over his shoulder in stride, and we get a touchdown because my controller didn't pick up my first input attempt. So it actually saved my drive. Another thing I've noticed, we're getting a lot more penalties on the AI instead of just my team. And the calls were better too. Like, calls actually went our way when they were challenged. But yeah, the penalties, they're getting penalized actually, and it saves one of our drives twice. Crazy. Like, we're going to have to punt, and they get a roughing the passer. And then we're probably close to punting or something later that same drive, and they get a roughing the passer, or no, it was pass interference the second time. Crazy. That never happened yesterday. Also, we got a safety. Not in this game. The game before this one. It's crazy. I mean, it was against a bad team, but they had been whooping us.
Off the play fake on first down. Looking to take a shot.
Man, overthrew it. That didn't happen much in this game. My accuracy wasn't that great in this game, but most of our misses are because it gets knocked down.
Almost took it all the way, but a huge gain, and he has him set up first and
And we had a 72% accuracy game before this. That was really nice. We were able to actually spread the damage and wear and tear across our whole team. That play gets called up a lot. And sometimes you can rip like a 20-yard run. Other times you get hit for a loss. So that's crazy how hit or miss that play is.
And he'll find the end zone. Touchdown, Florida Atlantic. He'll try to add another.
Also by slowing down that minimum play clock, or giving us more time, like putting it back at 25 or 40 or whatever it's normally set at. We still kept the accelerated clock, I think. We just turned up the minimum time from 10 seconds. That's what we had changed it to. For whatever reason with this, well, I know why. It's because I'm able to make more pre-snap adjustments. I'm able to disguise my coverage. See me try that a few times. You'll see me try a few hot routes and trying to get them to jump off sides. I've still never had that happen. We got a little better at kicking. We make a bad kick in this game or one before, but they were mostly decent.
Nothing going on that last run. They're going to have to find another way to get it going and handing the ball.
Really nice job to squirt his way
Army,
up to the 31-yard line.
The way they run the ball and the option, this was such an annoying team to play against. So I switched my defensive scheme to mainly, like 95% of the time, running some kind of 3-4 defense with different schemes and trying to disguise my coverage, and it works decent most of the time. But they were still able to put up like at least 26 points or something. They missed 2 or 3 extra or 2-point attempts. I think they missed a field goal too. That lady has a massive forehead. So big. She's also a cheerleader. I'll just note this. One of the issues I've seen with this game is that in Auburn's pregame ritual of having that eagle fly around, the bald eagle, they didn't get an eagle. EA Sports put like a peregrine falcon, which is like a quarter of the size it is in this game, which is this small brown bird
early and often
Like,
in this football.
how do you get it that wrong? I've also seen examples of them getting, like, major campus details wrong, or, like, I don't know. I've also noticed weird player logic sometimes. I'll point that out when it happens, when I see it. I actually unmute my mic during this game and mention it when I see it. Weird animations. The game's not perfect, but it's still very fun, and I think there's a lot of potential if they would just polish this game up.
Those outside players become more pivotal.
And once I figure it out more, there's just so much information given to you. And if you haven't played football, okay, there. I have to talk about this. I don't know how to switch to players faster than that. And in previous games, if you just hit circle and triangle, your player would immediately make a play for the ball. He would jump up and try to catch. That was the receive button. Right? Well, that has worked for me on offense and defense, switching to receiver, switching to cornerback, and getting the interception. But I would say 50% or higher of the time I've attempted that, my player doesn't even jump for the ball. I mean, doesn't even put his arms up. So maybe square is the play. Like, that's the best thing to do, is hit square and just keep running. Because what I would do is, if I was behind and I was getting beat down the field, but the guy had thrown a dart pass or a lower lob pass, I would turn around and come back to the ball and jump for it. That way the receiver is out of your way, and boom, interception. That's what I would think. Here I'm looking at hot routes.
Wants to throw. It's Fancher. Unloads to the wide out.
That should have been picked. What I was trying to do there is another mistake. Should have been picked off. I was trying to throw it back shoulder, and we get saved by the roughing the kicker there. Amazing that happened. It usually happens to me. Yesterday, it happened to me like 10 times. And I would say 7 of them were the AI doing it, not me. The other 3, I just got too aggressive and did a poor job of trying to block it. But we have blocked like 3 kicks, so that's cool. That's cool. So it is possible. We still haven't played any other team but playing as FAU. We haven't done any play now or other modes. So this is my only experience with this game outside of that one practice.
Wants to throw on first down. Complete with conviction on the crosser.
Yeah, there's just a lot of information put out there. If you haven't played a football game in a while, and if you don't play on a controller regularly, you're not used to it, and have just great hand-eye coordination, it's easy to make a lot of mistakes. And there's just so much info. So if you don't read, take that time. I don't like to do that. I don't like to read in games. I like to play them. It gets me in trouble. And this is one of those occasions.
They get him on the ground, but not before he rumbles all the way to the 5.
Well, I know this is an offensive line that has a ton of pride, and they want to come out each and every game and really impose their will.
A couple times where the audio did get a little scary.
Another rushing touchdown. That's now 2 on the game. This offense thought they could come into this one.
That man
running the ball, being the more
has been injured.
Team, and they look like it right now.
Like every game this season. I think this was the first game he didn't get seriously injured in. He usually comes right back in. And it's against my will. I would keep him out so he could heal up or whatever. Still not great at kicking better.
Couldn't find a way to create that broken field as he stopped at the 25.
And still terrible at returning the ball.
trailing by 3 touchdowns. If you're going to
I
get back
may
in, David,
have
the time
one
to start is
run
right
back.
now.
Gotta start now.
Maybe.
Defense giving up
Can't
points on
remember.
that last possession. Again, the offense is going to have to score, and Jesse probably score pretty quick.
Yeah, you got to go tempo. You're going to have to try to fit in.
Or is it UTSA, the team I played before this?
Game, but I think
they went up on me, like,
the negative plays.
14.
No more penalties and no more turnovers.
I don't know if that was
After getting
the
knocked
time I
back
won or
to
not.
open this drive, it's 2nd and 12.
Maybe that game I put up 14 and they put up 10, and then we
On
just
the
pulled
option.
ahead.
Finds some
For a
fresh
while.
air. And he gets it to the 45-yard line, and that'll be a first down.
I think they threw a few interceptions.
Fullbacks are very unselfish. One of the most unselfish positions
And we also got a
in
safety.
football. They block 99% of the time. But when you can give them that rock, get a first down, those guys are really big. You know, they're really powerful. They usually fall forward. No nonsense, no jukes, just hit you in the mouth.
All right, under
Throws to
2
the
minutes.
wideout. Missed his receiver there.
I was
It's
trying to go
Gotta
outside,
give the
right
defense a lot of
shoulder,
credit, man, 'cause they've come into this
and I
hostile
missed that
environment. They've
throw.
quieted the
Sometimes I don't get
crowd
the
down.
angle
Some of the
right
plays
on the position of the
they're
ball.
making, they've got a nice lead right here.
What
They're
has
making it
helped
hard for
me,
this quarterback to go to work.
and I forget to do this a lot,
A little pre-snap eye
is
candy for the defense.
making sure not to just hold it down the whole time if I don't need a
Steps
bullet.
away. And he gets it just
And
beyond the line of scrimmage before he gets down. The Black Knights
just
want to
taking
move
what they give
quickly.
me. If I see someone open, you know, and I'm working through my
To
progressions
throw,
better
it's
too.
Bolden.
I've
Going
struggled
for
with
the
that in
big
the
play.
past.
And it's
What I'm
knocked
doing
away
now
and incomplete. The defensive back
is
staying in phase and batting it away. And the Black Knights will punt it away
I'm looking
on
at my
4th down.
routes, you know, before the play, obviously. But I'm identifying the ones that will be open the quickest.
Fair catch called for
And if it's a
made.
longer route, I can delay looking at that receiver.
FAU has it back
So it helps
as the
me
Owls offense will go
get
back to
through
work.
my
They've been
progressions
the height
a
of
little
efficiency
faster.
here in the
and
first
that
half, David.
benefits me
You've got to
heavily.
think they're going to try to
Because
click it right down the field here.
Sometimes it just happens so fast like that.
And that defense
that
gets to
play
him, and down he
right
goes at the
there.
9.
One of the things I love about
Reason
this
that
defense
play
is they're
bothers
so
me
versatile in
is
the ways they can get
play
after the
action with
quarterback. In
my
their last game,
quarterback,
they came
either
away
with his
5
rating
sacks, came from all over the place. They got the win. So you know in this one, they're going to dial up a lot of
line
different
or
looks. It's gonna be
something,
tough
or
to decide
him being
who's gonna keep the
left-handed.
quarterback standing up straight.
He is so
I don't know if the
slow
quarterback read the coverage
doing a
properly on that
fake
one, but
or
obviously
play
the result
action.
is an incompletion.
Just eternal. So we always lose at least 6 to 9
Not
yards.
exactly the ideal
whenever we
situation
have a
for this
crazy
offense.
play
3rd
action
and
like
long,
that.
back up inside their 20.
And sometimes
He's going
I
up
think
top.
I'm calling a
And it's
pass
an
play,
incomplete pass
but
on
it's
the deep
actually
shot.
a read option.
Flag is down. Let's check the call.
And so I end up handing the ball off and usually getting
An
stuffed.
ill-advised play by that defender as he makes contact
That's
with
not
the
a good
quarterback
play.
well after the throw.
Not for us.
And
We're
it'll
too
cost
slow.
his defense. The defense in a most benevolent move, giving the offense a new set of downs. He rifles one deep to the left. And it
Missed
falls
that one.
incomplete.
Missed that one.
But it could have been much, much worse as the defender was right there. 2nd and
It's not
10
happening
here.
as often, but it still happens. That's for sure.
He's looking to throw.
I think it'll be
On over the
much
middle, it's Young.
easier
Works
to
his
figure
way to
out
the 41,
the
and that
offense
is
and
plenty
how
to
to
give him a
win
first
on
down.
offense.
Well, offensively, they
I
knew
don't
they
think
were
I'll
gonna have some
ever
matchups they could
completely
take
figure
advantage
out
of
how
in
to
this
play
one. And all of a
defense.
sudden, this quarterback has now over 300 yards
just
passing in the game.
coverages
Defensively, David,
and
he's
how
got them
quickly
on
you
there.
have to make those
And he's
adjustments.
been showing you a little bit of everything. He can throw it
Especially
all over
when
the
you
field
can't
to
make
all different
adjustments
receivers,
when
to
they're
his
running
tight ends, to
no
his running
huddle.
backs. Really has the
I
ability to
wish
spread
there was a way to
around,
learn the
and now
playbook
over 300 yards,
and call
still
the
some
play
time left.
verbally,
He can
like
put up
through
even
your
bigger numbers.
microphone.
Heck, go chase some awards, man. Get some
That would be
postseason awards, get it all,
ridiculously cool,
American.
and I
Just
feel like
put
it's
up
been a
day.
feature in other
Looking to
games,
throw, it's
having
Fancher.
voice activated
Uncorks one.
commands and plays.
He can't make the
I
grab.
feel like it's been around for a
incomplete,
long
but there
time.
is a flag,
So
and I
I'm not
believe
sure why
this
this
is gonna be
technology
pass interference.
isn't being used here.
And the
I
defender
know
just way too
it was in
handsy on that
NASCAR
last play.
08
You could see all
or
the contact as the
2009,
ball was in the air. You simply
game
can't
by
do
EA
it, and the
Sports.
referees caught it.
Free
You could
yards,
talk into your
first down for the
microphone
offense after that
and
penalty.
ask your pit crew chief,
Got
like,
his man on the
you know,
right.
lap time or
Defense
something,
was right
or you
there,
could
but they couldn't
tell
stop
them
him from making the catch,
what you
and he's
want
got
to
it to
do
the
on your
30.
next pit stop. Your
Man, how
strategy,
about
you
the
could say,
first half
hey,
this guy's
tighten up my
having? He already
car,
has 2
and
touchdowns,
we need
picks up a huge
fuel and
first
4
down right
tires.
here.
You could
On
say that.
defense, you're gonna have
And then when you go
Fires
in,
toward the
you
end
wouldn't have to
zone.
make those selections
And
manually.
good
So if you
coverage
could just
there to
call out
knock it
the
away and
play,
deny
whatever
the
formation
score.
you want, or what action you want from someone like, number 24, go on this hot route. That would be sick. Insane. Another thing, I want historic teams in this game. And the way I feel like they should do that, and should have done that, is by including every team that has won a championship. And maybe every team that has had a Heisman winner. Especially all the Heisman winners since NCAA 14. Like, imagine if they had a Heisman edition that came with all the teams from all the Heisman winners. They would be on the cover. So it'd be Joe Burrow, Jane Daniels, and all the rest of whoever's won in the past 10 years. That would have been sick. Instead of just picking random players that opted in, And it's not like they don't already have the rights to most Heisman players, because they're in the Madden games. And EA Sports, they would just make money hand over fist if they did that. Because historical teams have been a thing in Madden and in 2K, and it's one of my favorite aspects of the game. And imagine running a custom Dynasty with like 1960 Southern Miss, Imagine playing as Brett Favre in Mississippi. That would be insane. Imagine playing as Joe Namath for Bear Bryant, and they'd put him in the game and do all that, recreate the stadiums maybe from that time period. You don't have to do that. That's maybe a step too far. But here we cut the halftime show. Boom. And we go right into the third quarter. Saved us a few minutes. You can't skip through those cutscenes, at least not in my experience. I've tapped X and I've tapped the start button, the touchpad, nothing works. That's a little frustrating. Huge deficit to start this third quarter. They just need to find something to build a little confidence. Specifically in no huddle and in the pre-snap adjustments and offensive defense, that voice-activated command system would be absolutely nuts. Or if you saw like somebody alone in coverage and you wanted like someone to help double team, you'd be like 12, double wide receiver 1. Boom. Done. Instead of having to find the right button combination. It's hard for me to read those little tiny menus. I need to play at my television. I'm handicapping myself. Third and inches. They should have got this. They should have gotten that. If this was yesterday, they would have gotten it, and they would have ruled that they got 2 extra yards. But for whatever reason, I would lose every close call, and the other team would win every close call, whether I challenged it or not. I mean, there was video evidence of my player falling in the end zone and scoring. And I thought they ruled it incomplete, because that's the only way that it wouldn't have been a touchdown. But when I hit challenge play, they didn't challenge the possession of the ball. They challenged the spot of the ball. That's not what I wanted to do. And somehow, even though he had the ball up by his chest and he fell backwards into the end zone, crossed the goal line by at least a half a yard, they ruled him short by like 6 inches. We had, I think, a few plays, maybe 4 plays to try to get it in, and we got stuffed every single time. When the minimum yards, that play I was trying to run, had been a minimum of 2 yards gain every time out. We got stuffed 4 times in a row on like the 6-inch line. And we did move the ball on the 4th attempt. It did get closer, and somehow it still wasn't in. The lines were literally touching. But there are other times, and this is on my stream, where their player was tackled short of the line to gain. And when I challenged it, they still gave the other team the first down. It's like they're way too aggressive on how successful you can be overturning a call. Like, it has to be 10 feet out of bounds for the booth to call it out, something like that. And you can't challenge pass interference. That sucks. There are several times somebody's just blocked my route with their body past 5 yards, and that should be a penalty, especially if the ball is in the air. I mean, that's a penalty. And sometimes they will call it. I've had it called 2 or 3 times in my favor. But up until today, like yesterday, they were just, so many penalties uncalled. I don't know if that's a slider. Like, I need to change it to be like more aggressive on the penalties, because I have watched them hold my linemen and hold my special teams when we're kicking the ball off. I mean, just arm around the neck, just holding me back from getting to the defender, and they don't call it. So I've got to figure that out. So we got a sack there. That was awesome. It doesn't happen, too often with us. We don't have a lot of size. We're also playing cover 3 most of this game. So that's cool. However, I saw a video about certain problems with the engine of this game, and it showed a guy get sacked. Like, it was a user sack. It was a great play on the ball, and his back hits the ground. He's getting sacked. He has this lineman on top of him, and he magically stands up, like levitated back to his feet immediately, and threw the ball for like a 20-30 yard gain when his back was on the ground. It made no sense. I don't think I've seen anything that egregious, but good night, was that crazy. I have seen AI completely just give up on a play several times, so that is an issue. I don't know what would be the cause of that, or how they would fix that. Oof. I think that one was just on me. No. I think I meant to throw it to R1. He was so open, and I messed that up. That was so bad. I hit the wrong button. There we go. That's old me. Me from when that actually happened. That's the play I was referring to. Yeah, I thought he was circle, but he was R1, and I just hit the wrong button. That was my fault completely. Fat fingered it. I think I was so excited, maybe, that I didn't take the time to look for what his button was.
There are a lot of offensive coordinators out there, David, and in this position, they like to take a shot right away.
I was very frustrated because the Army turns the game around here. They don't come all the way back, but they do score like 3 times.
The throw, working that left side. He will step out of bounds, but not before the big pickup and a first down for this offense.
Guys out of the backfield now, it's not just run the ball downhill anymore. You got to be versatile. I got to be able to trust you in the pass game, and I got to be able to throw you the football, and you can do that right there. I know you're going to catch it, and I can depend on it.
Able to pick his way forward for a decent game before the defense gets him down.
Oh, I love when you give the fullback the ball. It's kind of a dying breed. It's being taken out of most offenses. But I like when you reward him for all the unselfish.
You see him calling up some coverage changes there.
The evolution in football. Fullbacks become a bit of a dying breed. Now you're starting to see.
Either disguised my formation, or I asked the pass coverage to press or play under. I can't remember what I used. I wish it showed what I selected. Wish I could show my game
to the ground to try to move the
inputs on
chain.
screen.
That just never had a chance as they control.
Because you guys would be able to see what I'm doing and see what I'm doing wrong.
On third down.
That would be so cool.
So hard.
I could do a hand cam possibly, but I think it's a little weird. A little weird to set up too. I wouldn't want to keep my hands in one place. I would get very old. If this game was on PC, I could record my inputs, but I don't think you can do that while it's connected to your PlayStation.
And the Black Knights are moving quickly down the field. Let's go! We've reached the end of the quarter.
You guys could see how long I'm holding the button to pass and stuff, or like what running motions I'm doing. You guys would be able to tell me if I'm doing it too early or too late. That would be sick. So for this game specifically, I got an Elgato game capture, the new 4K one. So if you like the quality of the video, it's thanks to Elgato, because I wanted to buy this game for the PC, but it's not out for the PC. So I didn't want to use the built-in recording or live streaming on the PlayStation 5 because it looks decent, but it looks really bad in motion. And I've done everything I can do to increase my internet speed, and it improved the stream maybe a little bit, but it still suffered. So I actually want good quality, and I feel like it would have handled this game just fine. It still would have technically been 1080p, especially if I was recording and not live streaming. I actually did capture my previous game through PlayStation 5, uploaded it to YouTube unlisted, and then downloaded that video to put a voiceover on it. So you guys will see that later, maybe tomorrow. Whenever I don't have work or a doctor's appointment, I'll get to it. Right now, my back is just killing me.
Do that again, and you'll be right here beside me for the rest of the game. You got to go out, you got to call your plays, and I hope this coaching staff isn't going to be afraid to throw it this drive.
The play action fake. He's going for it all. And he makes the catch.
So that play, this is the one. This was an accident.
With that, they are closing in on bowl eligibility.
I meant to throw it to him. I had him scouted as being open, but he wasn't that open. There were still two guys close to him. And when I hit circle the first time, like a full second or two before it actually happened, I hit circle, nothing happened. And it didn't register for a second. I thought I was getting sacked. So I hit it again, and that time it registered. I had that happen like 20 times yesterday, and today it only happened once. Don't know why, but it happened there. And instead of causing me to get an interception like it usually does and has several times, it led me to getting that touchdown, that insanely long touchdown, because the 1 to 2 seconds I was delayed in passing the ball, and maybe even, I don't even know if it shows an animation of me trying to throw it, but if it did, that'd be cool. I think maybe I pump faked or something, like it registered my input is 2, pump faked instead of passing, I don't know.
Keep taking shots, keep trying to claw your way back into this one.
Catch in the middle, it's Howard.
That was an insane catch. I mean, I probably missed the tackle because I didn't use the hit stick, or I didn't just use the left stick. I probably used R2 and square. I missed that tackle. I don't like the controls of off-ball defending.
And good coverage and better hands by the defender to knock it down in the end zone. About to kick it off after punching it in for the touchdown.
I also think Army having a cannon is hilarious. There's probably veterans at every game, and the explosions can't be good for them. Also, there was some high school, I believe, that had a cannon, and they shot the cannon after a touchdown, and it shot the wad, and it ended up hitting someone. I can't recall if it killed them or not, but someone got shot by a cannon. They aren't the safest.
Great job by the offense. Listen, if the defense is going to sit back,
it is cool that they put not the team in the game, but they put service members in the game. You can see them in the stands and in the cutscenes. That's pretty cool. Even if their uniforms aren't super accurate, it's still a really cool detail that they attempted. I wish they would have actually added all the teams this game used to have. Add some small schools and FCS schools.
Back to pass, it's Peters. Unloads to the wideout. Receiver wasn't
and
ready.
I don't know if Create a Team is in this game, but I wish it was. It's not, because that was one of my favorite parts of the old football games, was creating my own team. Making my own uniforms, making my own stadium or whatever. So fun.
Do I need to fire it? Do I need to put a little air underneath it? And it's just a tough thing for a quarterback to be able to do. But over time,
that would fix the problem of not having every team.
This FAU offense is
just
moving
create your own
quickly.
school.
Looking to the big tight end. Complete to the
Oh,
left.
baby. Oh,
Big
baby.
juke to get past. And he almost ran away from everybody on
jukes
that
just
one.
like
A
that.
huge
Oh.
pickup on that play.
Oh,
Offenses nowadays know
Oh,
one speed.
I want to run that
Be
back.
aggressive.
That was beautiful.
Go after it. Even if you got a lead, you see a lot of
Oh,
offenses
here
do
it
this
is.
and
Oh,
take shots
oh.
and keep making big plays
Play.
down the field.
It was
I like
awesome.
it. Keep it up.
Comes out throwing on first down. And it's
That was
picked
not
up
awesome.
at the goal line. That's a way to make a stand.
I think I just missed
And
it
the
there. I
offense
don't think
makes
I
the
did
tackle
anything.
in
I tried to
front.
force it. That did not work.
Interception drive comes up empty and
Told
it's
me
a
tough.
turnover.
Yeah, I had that guy selected, and I thought he would be
Army
open
has it back and the
by then.
offense ready to go.
And I just forced it in there, and led to that interception.
Big fullback's got it. Really nice stop
Most
there
of my
from the
interceptions,
senior leader.
some of them are, I feel like the game's fault because it doesn't register my input, or I just randomly, I don't know, all the drops that happened yesterday. But today,
I love the play call. I think you keep running the football and stay physical.
and yesterday,
Finally run
most
out of bounds, but
of
he
my
has his
problems
offense rolling with a
resulted
first
from
down.
me
Great job, too, by the
trying
QB
too
there,
hard
holding the ball as long
and
as
just trying to
possible,
brute
allowing the
force it.
pass rush to get upfield, and at the very last
Also just
second,
not
getting
knowing
it to his
how
guy
to
so that he
play
can
the
go get
game.
first down.
I was playing it
To the wideout.
exactly like a Madden from 10 years ago,
And chunk
or a college
plays
football
on the
game from
name
10
of the
years
game,
ago.
and they get one
And this
here
game
before
plays
the
a lot
defense
different.
finally
It's
makes
different
a stop.
animations, different
The Mighty
physics.
Knights will snap it
It's-
on 1st and 10.
It's an adjustment. Still hate the kicking.
He's looking
The
to throw
kicking
it.
is my least favorite
Fires
part of the
to the
game.
middle.
The,
Pulls it in.
the tap is fine. It's better
Almost
than
housed
the
it,
tap and hold
finally dragged down at
because
the
it's more
32.
consistent.
Hey, it's important on offense
But
in the
I
passing
wish
game. You
they
gotta have
brought back
balance, and I mean,
the
you gotta be able to
meter
attack
that you would
different thirds of the field.
control
You gotta work the
with the
perimeter,
right
both
stick.
sides, but you gotta
Down
let the
and back.
defense know,
Boom,
too, that
boom.
You're not afraid to go over the middle, and they did right there.
That was a great control, so I'm not sure why they
They'll
shifted
move the
away from
running
that.
back to try to force the defense to adjust.
At least include it as an
We reached
option,
the 2-minute
because
warning, and we
they
see
added
miracles
revamp
in
passing,
college football
but
all
there's
of the
two
time,
other
and
passing
they could
styles in
use
the
one
game.
here.
So I don't understand why
Coming out on first down with the
there's
play fake.
just
Makes the grab.
two kicking styles.
And he's knocked down immediately, but not
I think
before
there-
he moves the chain.
There's a bigger skill gap
Just another
with this
big play
kicking
for
style
this
for
guy who
sure.
spent the entire game
So that's
wide
probably their
open. Couple
intention,
of
and it's not the
touchdowns here, and
worst
he moves the sticks
idea.
again, David.
Yeah, so I'll keep
But
finding him, Reese. I
the
mean,
stick
this is a guy that, listen, we're in the
down
second
and
half
back
now. He's
was
already
just
made
a
plays.
great
I know I can trust him, so I'm going to
method.
continue to feature him in this offense.
And if
as
they
I
did
know
it
he'll
like
continue to make big plays.
how they do it on
When they try to spit
2K
it out to the running
golf,
back on the perimeter of the field, you
where
saw
it
the
tracks your
speed
accuracy,
and
like how
recognition by the
straight you
defense,
go
though,
up and
how
down.
quickly they were able to get to the back
That would be sick.
and get him down for
Because
a
it would
big
still add an
loss.
element of skill to it.
Throws to the wideout. It's complete.
Insane.
Yeah, and I tell you what,
The
when you stick
pass
these
and the
fast
coverage
suckers
there,
in the slot, they
crazy.
don't have to be big, but
They picked me apart this drive.
They can get great matchups, and I can get the ball to them quick because they're such dynamic playmakers.
Right here. That is an example. I'll have to make some kind of separate video on that or something. I don't know. There was no logic there for my linebacker. He didn't do anything. He didn't react to that scramble at all. I understand he was in zone waiting there, but when the quarterback breaks the line of scrimmage, you push because he can't throw it anymore. I don't understand that. Way too late. Way too late. I don't know. Maybe the actual line of scrimmage was a lot closer than I expected. That's most likely what it was. It's just they're on the 2, the 4, wherever they were, and
looking downfield, it's Bolden.
Yeah.
And he left that
At least we're stopping him from getting the 2s here. Right there, I lost my train of thought during the play. I was thinking too hard, and I just forgot what I was saying, and so I had to save it. To say, well, at least they're not getting the 2s. That was crazy. That's pretty realistic. That's usually how people get onside recoveries, is it just bounces off the other player. In fact, we got it back. We're so lucky. We got lucky several times this game. Not getting interceptions. Later in the game, you see it there, we had so much more time in the pocket. Earlier in the game, got lit up a few times.
There's just so many positives to take away from this, and this is the kind of performance today.
You can tell that players get fatigued and injured because later in the game, the opposing team will start getting tons of random injuries that conveniently stop the clock. So I think it's a conspiracy. I think they added fake injuries to the game, or the way the wear and tear system is, that's why the injuries start randomly happening. But it feels like fake injuries just to stop the clock. So, not a fan of that. I do like the system because it does take teams like Alabama that are 90 overall. By the end of the season, they'll be like an 85 overall. And it makes them possible to beat with a worse team like mine. You do still have to contend with all their star players, and half their team are star players in this game. So what I do in those situations, and what I'm doing right here, is I run the clock out, and it saves me. I hold the ball for literally, I don't know, 80% of the game. I have possession of the ball because I run the clock to its fullest. At least that's how I beat Alabama and won the college football playoffs. You can see that on my stream. How did he pop up into that animation celebration just immediately? He literally defied gravity. That was crazy. Play that back, and you'll see what I was talking about. He's laying on his back on top of the other player, like right here. You don't see it, but if you watched it, you rewind it and watch it, he just pops up to his feet instantly and then does the celebration. That's an example of just the animation sucking and just breaking completely.
And with the extra point, the lead is even bigger. A very efficient 5-play scoring drive.
I also think it sucks that they hardly ever show your coach on screen. Because, like, I made my coach look cool, and I want him to be on screen towering over his players because he's 7 foot tall. So I want to see him standing next to people, and you might get one shot of him at the end of the game or something. And his arms are so big, they glitch through his shirt. It looks like he's wearing a ripped shirt. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's why they call it a game.
Dude's a powerhouse.
But I'll say this, if you're on offense, don't go on social media this week. It ain't going to be pretty after this performance.
Good little swat there. All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. This video, our time is almost up. I will be uploading this, and I will be uploading the gameplay against UTSA. Keep an eye on that. And we may do more of these recordings, or we might just do more live streams, whichever you guys prefer. But we're going to be playing this game more, at least for a few more seasons. Alright, thank you guys for joining me. If you've made it this far, thank you. And if you have any tips or comments, let me know in the chat, and I will definitely read it. And if you have good advice, I will definitely take that advice and try to put it into action. Thank you guys for all the support. It's been great recently. I've been at this for 13 years. The recent support means so much to me.